Hi, it's Kevin Wright here, and I'm back in Lincoln today to do the wrap-up video for Maggie and the Castle View. Now, if you've been watching the earlier videos, you'll see that some time ago now, Maggie bought a wreck of a property at auction, and then she was going to set about transforming it. So I'm here to see exactly how that transformation has panned out. It's taken me quite a while to get here because Maggie actually finished it about 18 months ago, and she's been renting it ever since. So, hi Maggie.
Hello Kevin, welcome back.
Yeah, nice to be back. And oh my God, what a transformation.
Thank you, yes, I'm quite pleased with it.
And so you should be. It's great to see the transformation that's taken place since I was here, some two or so years ago. So Maggie, how have you been renting the property out for the last 18 months?
So I have been renting it out mostly on short-term rentals on Airbnb, Booking.com, Sykes Cottages. My private website is also coming up very soon.
Your what's coming up?
A website for the property, so people will be able to book directly.
Fantastic.
castleviewhouse.com. And yes, it's been amazing so far.
And what's the occupancy been like?
It's been brilliant. So we had 70% occupancy in the last 12 months, which was amazing. And actually, the income from the property has exceeded my expectations, to be honest, because, yes, people normally say that in your first year, you have to bear in mind that it's a new property, you have to build your client database, and you may not achieve the amounts that normally you would expect. I was positively surprised that it worked out actually really, really well. So if it carries on like this, then it's fantastic.
Good. Now, the nightly rental, has that turned out to be higher than you thought it might be?
I think, I've done quite a lot of research before even sort of attempting to utilize the property as a holiday let. And the prices were what I thought they would be. So not higher, not lower. I think they're accurate for what the property is.
That's good research then.
Yes. Yes, I mean, the property is booked up 70% of the time. So, I think the rates are fine, because if we weren't getting that many bookings, that means that, there's nothing wrong with the property. It could be something with the price.
Now, are people happy with the proximity to the town centre, Maggie?
Absolutely. I mean, you can't get any closer to the castle because you can actually see it from the back yard and from the master bedroom as well. So people absolutely love it. And you can see the cathedral as well from several windows. So I think the location is absolutely fantastic, and just 2 minutes to the main square where people can enjoy local restaurants, cafes and shopping. So yeah, it's been so far really positive. Only 5-star reviews, which I'm very pleased about.
That's fantastic.
And yeah.
I'm curious how long your guests tend to stay. Is it the normal 7-day blocks, or do people go for shorter breaks and visits?
So I would probably say that majority is shorter stays, but we do minimum of 3 nights. So yeah, minimum 3 nights. And then obviously we had longer bookings as well. Last November, we had a company booking for a whole month. So yeah, there's variety, but I would say majority of people are coming for short breaks or sort of 3 nights to 5 days. But we had 2 weeks bookings, people coming from Australia, United States, Holland, Germany. So really international visitors visiting Lincoln, yes. And some of them have come back. We actually had one client who was here 4 times already. So
right.
yeah, and they live in America, so they have quite a while to come. But they used to live in Lincoln in the past. They absolutely love Lincoln. So yeah.
So I'm looking forward again the tour of the property, Maggie.
I'll be very happy to show you around. Let's go.
Let's go. So we're in the fabulous kitchen right now with this delightful central island unit, which just looks stunning, and it's a really good use of the space. So I'm interested to know how the conversion went, because you were doing it during the COVID lockdowns. Not the first one, I think you bought it in the September.
I bought the house in September 2020. We didn't start working on it until sort of late October, November. So the major problem that we had was the fact that it was during COVID. Some of the shops were closed for a number of months, and the supplies were delayed or limited. So that was really the main issue, because I was hoping to finish it probably 3-4 months earlier than we did, but we still finished the project on schedule. I repaid the bridging loan on schedule, which was the main thing for me.
Good.
But yeah, we had some issues with, for example, windows were massively delayed, probably about 6 or 8 weeks. We had some issues with the suppliers, and we also had difficulties with the tiles, for example, the bathroom. So I found myself driving around England trying to find an open shop and trying to find something. But I think it turned out really well in the end. So yeah, I mean, it was a really, really nice experience anyway. You know, I sort of approached it with a positive mind that, you know, it's got to be done. It is what it is. And, you know, even if we're delayed by a few months, it's not going to make a major difference. But yeah, working during COVID wasn't the easiest of times. And I'm sure that it would have been much, much easier if it was normal times like we are now, yeah.
So I can get that whilst you're in the middle of a refurb and it's taking longer than you thought, that can be pretty frustrating. But once it's all finished, it doesn't seem quite so bad in retrospect.
Absolutely, absolutely. And also a few things, I don't know if you remember, I had plans with having a bifolding doors here. Structural engineer said that it's impossible because there's not enough support. So this is the width we could have, but I think it worked out fine.
Now, if I remember rightly, I think you told me that the windows had to be custom made.
They were custom made, yes, wooden sash windows. The house is in conservation area, so we have to make sure that the house sort of is in line with all other properties. And yeah, that was really our major delay.
I remember that when we walked outside, I mean, we couldn't go out through the doors there because it was a brick wall. But I remember there was these quite dilapidated brick structures, which I think were they're old toilets or something, weren't they, from years ago? And I noticed that they're not there now. What happened with that?
Yes, so it was a very unsightly building. They used to be sort of old Victorian toilets right in the middle of the outside space. And I was hoping that somehow we can either demolish those old toilets ourselves, or it somehow will be done, because I've heard that English Heritage was planning to do some work on the back wall because it was literally falling down. So I phoned them up. Actually, my structural engineer very kindly helped me because he knows people in the area. So he spoke to the right people as well and said, look, you've got to do something about it because it's dangerous. So they've sorted out the wall. They've removed the toilets. And we've got a really nice backyard. And it all sort of coincided really nicely with the end of my refurb as well. So the house was ready and the backyard was ready at the same time.
That's quite a transformation outside. There's a nice little seating area with some chairs. I can imagine that in nice weather, in warmer evenings, your guests quite like sitting out there and drinking wine or coffee and enjoying the views and that type of thing.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I've been getting really good feedback from guests enjoying the views and having coffee in the backyard.
And how good if you get some of your refurb done and you don't even have to pay for it.
Yes, that was a real bonus, because as we know, sometimes, not as we know, but you have to be prepared for sort of contingency. We went slightly over budget with unexpected things. The roof had to be replaced. I mean, not completely replaced, but we've used the same tiles. We had to buy some additional ones, reclaimed tiles. But yeah, that was something that I didn't really expect to do.
Which is why you have contingencies.
Absolutely, yes. That's exactly what it's there for. But yeah, other than that, you know, we didn't have any major surprises. And it went really well. So I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and I would definitely do it again.
So you bought it using a bridging loan, Maggie, and then once it was finished, you got it refinanced, revalued. So how pleased were you with the valuation that you got?
Well, it was slightly lower than my expectation. because I had several agents visiting here, advising me on what the price should be. Obviously, as we know, bank valuers normally tend to be very conservative. So it was slightly lower than I thought, but still was really, really good.
Okay.
So yeah, very pleased with the result.
Good.
With the refinance, yeah.
Now, one of my training modules is the Rapid Cash Recycler, and that's where, using my experience of dealing with mortgage lenders, valuers for over 20 years, that I give you 7 things that they need to see to give you the best chance of the best valuation. So how did you find using those?
Oh, absolutely. It was very, very helpful, especially preparing for evaluation, actually being here in the room with the surveyor and presenting him with the valuation pack. So I was very prepared, I think, with this. Whether he sort of took notice of that, I don't know, but it was prepared for him and he took it. So that was a good sign.
Good.
And yeah, it wasn't what I expected in terms of valuation, but not far off. So
Okay.
I think probably you could say that it was expected, because that's how valuers work. You know, they would always go slightly lower than you hope for, but still a very, very good level, meaning that I got a cash back at the end of it.
Okay. So when you refinanced, did you have any cash left in the deal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had cash left in the deal, but also got some money out.
Okay. So how long would you say that, in terms of positive cash flow, that it took you to get that cash, the remaining cash, back out?
Well, the last 12 months, I'm now,
Okay.
there's no money left in the deal right now.
Okay.
After the first year of renting it
So it took you about a year to get that money
back out, yeah.
back out.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty good. I mean, I think if you can get it out in the first 2 years and be, cash zero in the property within 2 years, and then you continue to benefit from the rental income from the property, that's a good deal.
Yeah, I think it's marvelous. I'm really pleased with the result.
So here we are. We're now in the master bedroom, and the great thing here is, and I remember this from my first visit, Maggie had this vision that to get rid of this, I think it's a chimney breast here, and replace it with French doors, Juliet balcony, so you see straight out and you got that magnificent view of the castle. And Maggie's delivered on it, definitely. So as we were walking around, Maggie, you said that once you finished this quite major project, you felt like a bit of a rest from renovating and buying property.
Oh yes, definitely. I needed a break. I was traveling, enjoying the money, but also, yeah, had a bit of a break. But yeah, I'm back onto things now.
Okay. So what's the next stage in your property career, Maggie? What's the next thing that's coming up for you?
Probably a bigger project than this, but it really just depends what I find. I don't want to put my eggs into one basket. I really like to diversify, so I'm not sort of that's my only strategy. I'm going to stick with this. I really enjoy the experience of having a holiday let, so I think probably the next one would be of similar nature, but maybe on a bigger scale. But I also consider other strategies, HMOs, bigger HMOs, single lets, whatever really. I just love property. That's my world, and that's what I'm going to continue doing.
Brilliant. So to finish up our visit today, I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome you to my Ninja 100 Club Mastermind group.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I'm really honoured to be part of this wonderful group. It's amazing to be able to meet with people who are passionate about property, about investing in property. And I'm so looking forward to our quarterly meetings.
So just to explain what the Ninja 100 Club is for everyone else, this is a small mastermind group of people that have trained with me at the Ninja Investor Program level or above, and critically have made since that training a minimum £100,000 clear profit from the property deals that they've done. So we get together once a quarter and we just chat property stuff. So thanks for showing me round today, Maggie. I always like to do this wrap-up video, and so we get the whole picture, the whole journey. And you've done some videos in between, so we've seen a bit of the journey. And this is very important for me in these not so grand design videos, is to show that it's not all glossy, easy things to do. The results are fantastic, but there's a few obstacles to come along on the way. So I really appreciate the time today. Thank you, Maggie.